Combo Nation, this is Grown B, and the gameplay that you are watching is me and two other Combo Nation members trying to will our team to victory. Unfortunately, we are unsuccessful, but you'll be seeing some DMR gameplay in the process, which is what we're going to be talking about today. I just find it fascinating, but also kind of frustrating how much people are complaining about the DMR having something that it's finally good at. Because let's be honest, there's really not a game mode, as far as multiplayer is concerned, in which you can pick up this gun and have a good experience if you are in a mid to high skilled lobby. If we're being realistic, this gun really has no place in this game, at least as far as multiplayer is concerned. Because when it comes to the longer ranges, a sniper rifle is always going to beat it out because one shot's always better than three. You really can't win at medium long range because the other assault rifles can be kitted out to literally be laser beams with no recoil. And even the fact that the DMR doesn't have a whole lot of recoil, it has just enough to where you're literally getting eyes on someone and being wiped out instantly before you could try to get those 3 shots off. You're definitely not getting anything at close range when it comes to going up against something like the MP5 or even the AUG or even the M16. And so what is this gun really good for? Well, apparently now it's good for Warzone. And now the Call of Duty community is furious because why make any gun a go-to gun other than the MP5 or the MP7 or the AUG or whatever 3-round burst just so happened to be in the game of the time? Why go away from what everybody understands as a pick-me gun? But if we're being honest with ourselves and we're being transparent about our community, this is never going to change. This is Call of Duty now, in which 1 or 2 guns with 2 or 3 attachments and a certain perk setup is going to dominate the game. And if you want good gameplays, if you want good videos to put up on your YouTube channel, if you want to have a good stream, you're gonna have to pick these 1 or 2 things. But I think there's something interesting that's kind of developing here, which is a meta for multiplayer, a meta for zombies, and a meta for Warzone. But I think that Call of Duty should embrace this. Activision, Raven, Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, Treyarch, they should all embrace this idea of we have 3 different game modes that are popular amongst a wide variety of our massive fan base. Let's create different types of experiences by doubling down on what is the meta for each. Like for me, I really like tactical single fire type assault rifles. I like them. Maybe it's because, I first got into Call of Duty with World at War and they were good in a lot of different instances there, right? And so I fell in love with them when I was getting headshots from far away where guys were just peeking out of a window. And so for me, I've always tried to find a way to force them, into my class setups despite whether or not they were actually effective. Let's be honest, we're never gonna have true balance. But I think it would be interesting to have a baseline respectable performance for every gun in the game, but depending on the game mode you are playing, you get an understanding of what type of guns work really well in those game modes. So yeah, maybe if you really want to use a tactical or a marksman rifle, go to Warzone. That's going to be your place to truly excel with that type of gun. If you want to use submachines, multiplayer, 6v6, that's where it's at for you. If you want to use assault rifles, maybe combined arms or ground war is that particular game mode for you. Create a way where people know at the very least I can go here and use this stuff, right? They already kind of have a little bit something like that when it comes to just the way certain weapons perform in general. Treyarch tends to make weaker shotguns. Infinity Ward tends to make stronger shotguns. You know, quick scoping tends to be a little bit more dominant in Infinity Ward games, whereas now Treyarch is actually kind of catching up and wanting people to be able to, you know, quick scope just as good as they are in some of the Modern Warfare titles. So going back to the shotgun point, even though in multiplayer the shotguns tend to be weaker, they also tend to be a lot more powerful in the zombies game mode, so they at least in some capacity have their place. I know as far as the developers are concerned and their styles, they'll never really double down on this because they want everybody to buy all of the games. So it's not going to be one of those situations where like, oh man, I like these type of guns, so I know not to buy Infinity Ward games, or I know not to buy Treyarch games. They're never going to double down in that capacity. However, I think they can double down when it comes to the game modes. They can double down and say, okay, whatever our battle royale is, we're gonna give the bulk of whatever it is that you consider meta attributes. We're gonna give the bulk of those to the marksman rifles or the tactical rifles. When it comes to our multiplayer, we're gonna give the bulk of that to the assault rifles and the submachines, or maybe the sniper rifles. A community is generally better when there is a place that you can go to do what you want to do. Well, here we are at the end of the video. If you like the video, like it. If you think someone else might like it, share it. And if you want to see more, I really hope that you would subscribe.